so to kind of go a little bit way back, you know, Infectious Grooves, something way different.
Yeah.
How did that all get started?
I got called into Infectious Grooves by my good friend Robert Trujillo. I'd known Robert for a few years prior to him being in Suicidal and all that. We were in some garage bands together and funk bands. Actually, I met Robert. I moved to California from San Antonio. I met Robert a few months after that.
Okay.
And he called me and informed me he was in Suicidal. And about a year later, he called me to come play on some tracks on some project. And the project ended up being Infectious Grooves.
Wow.
Mike liked me and asked me to return to play on some more tracks, and we ended up making a whole record. And you know, Mike got a deal on Sony, a small deal, and Ozzy Osbourne was in the studio one day, and Mike asked him would he sing on a song called Therapy. And Ozzy said, "Well, if you don't tell anybody, I'll do it."
Well, that's kind of hard to hide.
Right, and he did it, yeah.
Wow,
and then he appeared in a video in Chicago, actually. He had a broken foot. He had a cast on, and he came and still did the video for us, Therapy. And he took us on tour, much to the chagrin of the record company. They wanted to take somebody else.
Of course they did.
And he said, "I'm taking these guys." And so it was a great thing. And then Infectious Grooves, you know, Jane's Addiction had just broke up, so we took Stephen Perkins, who had played on a bunch of songs on the record, and, you know, Robert Trujillo, myself, Adam Siegel, and Mike,
What a lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of sit back and look and go, damn.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Jane's Addiction, I mean, arguably one of the biggest bands in the alternative scene, you know. Robert, who used the springboard to do the swan dive into Metallica.
Oh, yeah, exactly, right.
You know, you and Mike.
Right.
Come on, who you kidding? I mean...
I'm like I said, I smile about it all the time. A photographer just sent me, Gene Ambo just sent me some pictures from 1991 in Chicago from the photo shoot of Infectious Grooves. And it's hilarious. And I'm just looking at this thing, just like,
God.
Yeah, I'll show it to you after the interview. It's hilarious.
Awesome. Yeah. Have you guys talked about maybe doing something with Infectious Grooves?
Yeah,
because like I said, it was different and it was fun. I mean, it was. You know.
Well, we did the Orion Festival 2 years in a row, and Robert brought back. We did the first Orion Festival. We did. Robert set in with us as Infectious.
Okay.
And then we made the retro band back together.
Okay.
And we included Jim Martin from Faith No More.
Oh, nice.
So we just played. Then we did the second year Orion in Detroit.
Okay.
With that lineup, and we did. We played the Whiskey, sold out. They asked us to play a couple of nights, but we had just got off tour from Persistence.
Okay.
We were worn out. We came home, had one day to practice, and then played a sold-out Whiskey show for the 50th anniversary of the Whiskey. Jeez. And
that's cool.
We closed it, so we were the last band to play for that celebration.
Okay.
So it was a really good night for us, and it was fun. And, you know, like you said, having Jim Martin from Faith No More, having, you know, Mike Muir from Suicidal and Infectious, myself, Robert from Metallica, and Ozzy, and all of us in Suicidal, just a great thing. And now
don't be humble. Don't be humble, because you're up there too. You know, you're doing okay.
Thank you. You know, I just view it as, hey, you know what? I'm lucky to be in this bunch, and I always see it as, you know what? Regardless of the names, I want people to know that each one of these people that are in this group deserves to be. They work hard for what they do, and they have the talent and everything. But besides their accomplishments, it's like these are cool people to be around. It's just a fun environment, you know.
And I think that you know, I mean, I've heard stories of this band, that band, this band, that band. Yeah. Once you get to that point, they all have their own buses.
Right. Yeah. No.
You know, and whether you can afford it or not.
Right.
Man, that's kind of a crummy place to be.
Yeah,
I mean, where you're doing, you know, 6-8 months or whatever, or even a month, and you got to deal with these people at least for an hour.
Right.
I mean, God, that's got to be miserable, and I hope that you guys aren't like that.
The one thing,
because you're all on the same bus.
Right.
Number one.
No, the one thing that's always been, and Mike has always stressed with this, is it's always been a good family environment. He likes to be around people he likes, and so do I, and I think everybody else, like you just said. We were just in catering, and Jack just looked up and said, you know, from Exodus, said, man, you guys are all you guys are all sitting there like, you know, you like each other, like it's just, you know, like a family at dinner. He goes, we don't all eat together like that. He goes, you guys, they look like just a happy family. And you know, we were on tour with DRI, and they said the same thing. Harold said that, like, you guys all like each other. It's amazing. Well, we do, and you know, that is the beauty of this organization.
I was just gonna say, on top of everything, you know, I mean, I don't want to pick on Metallica, but they're the one band that, I mean, hell, they made a movie about their dysfunction.
Oh yeah.
They travel separately on it and so forth. It's a prime example of, you know, loving your job but hating to do it with the people you do it with.
Yeah, that's
so right. I mean, you know, maybe you're not making $1 billion, but you at least enjoy.
And happiness can't be bought or sold.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, money's great and everybody wants to make it, but you know, at the end of the day, when you're happy, it means so much more.
Oh, I think. Absolutely.
You know, and I think, like you said, you look back at your life and your accomplishments, and you don't remember it as much as, oh, I made $1 million that day. You remember it as like, that was a great show. Yeah. Oh, that was a good time. Oh, I loved the fact that those people with me when we accomplished that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that, you know.
I think in every aspect of your life, it's you think about those kind of things.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you know, you've been around the Suicidal family for, hell, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
What is your proudest moment? You know?
Wow, that's... There's been a few. One was recently, and we'll go back to the beginning of this tour. After we played Oakland, we went home and did the Forum.
Oh yeah.
And I never thought or imagined I'd be playing the Forum. So that was brought about from this tour, like to be standing there and seeing the names on the walls, and you know, Magic Johnson and Worthy and Kareem and you name it, just like to know that those guys played in that place and I got to play there too, and also the great musicians that have played there. You know, that was amazing, and that's, you know, afforded by this band.
I can understand.
And I think also another moment was years ago we played in Colombia, and it was a government-sponsored concert, and we played in front of 100,000 people.
Wow.
And that was...
It wasn't a festival?
No, it was an outdoor concert with bands from all over the world.
Okay.
And Suicidal was one of them. They had orchestras, they had you name it. And the fact that we were part of that was truly incredible and amazing. It's like...
Talk about not fitting.
Yeah, right. So...
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Excuse me.
And you're one of the lucky ones, and I say that honestly, that you can sit back and say, hey, we did this, we did that. But on the same turn, you know, I would assume you saw the Slayer video where the guy tried to sell his car. Did you see that?
No.
Are you serious?
No, he tried to sell his car?
Basically, it was a YouTube deal where this guy goes out and he makes this video. And he's driving in his car, and it's like just an 87 hoopty.
Right.
And he's going to sell his car to get Slayer tickets at the Forum.
Wow.
And I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is garbage, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's just funny.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the next video, and you'll have to ask him, Tom comes on, and he's like, he's watching the video, starts laughing, he's like, dude, don't sell your car. It's a piece of shit. We'll just give you the tickets.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
But nonetheless, you're getting love, but I guess you're not getting that much love from the fans that they're going to sell their car
for the,
to buy tickets.
Yeah, that's wow. Yeah,
but hey, that's cool.
That's cool. You know,
that's cool either way.
And Tom's a good guy. You know, he's really cool, and he enjoys a good laugh too.
I tell you what, it was funny because he's like, yeah, it's a piece of shit. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's funny, man. But yeah, but I think, you know, I've had you know, countless moments in this you know, band, and you know, I could name so many tours from the Warped Tour '99 and all that, and like I said, the moment in Colombia and playing the Forum, and being able to say I've done that, and playing the Zenith in Paris and places like that. But it's all been because of this band and the history of it and the legacy of it. So for me, I'm just proud to have a place in history and to have been a part of this. You know,
right on. And kudos to you.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, one of the things about Suicidal is, you know, they are labeled as one of the pioneers of the crossover thrash movement, which thousands of bands spurned from. You know, like I said, DRI. That's a prime example.
Excuse me.
And, you know, whether you were here or not, you still get to carry that torch every time you go. So I'll thank you for those bands.
Well,
because I'm sure they already have, but nonetheless.
Yeah, you know, I feel it's funny to me because when I was at home in Texas and before I moved to California, I was into all different types of music from Dio to Prince to Parliament, and my favorite punk rock song was a song called Institutionalized. And I saw the band, I saw the video, and I was like, those guys don't look like anybody I've ever seen playing punk rock.
No way.
And here I am in the band. So it's like, it's a funny thing, you know, you never know where life's going to lead you there.
What a small world.
Yeah.
You bring up Institution. I just have a couple more. So I met Rock on the Range. I met some new friends. You know, what are you doing, this and that? I said, oh, I'm going to go shoot Suicidal. Well, you know.
Yeah.
And the one thing that he wanted was for you to play Institutionalized. So, shot my 3 songs. I got out of there. I come back. We stood there. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? They did not play Institutionalized. And he just wanted me to bring that up to you to know.
Oh.
It's my buddy Wes.
Right.
He just.
Wes, I'm sorry.
He just was like, oh man, kicking rocks.
I thought we played that one.
No.
We didn't. Wow. I have to look at the video back in there. I could have sworn we played that one. You know, sometimes we switch it up.
Sure.
Sometimes we play that song in the second or third in the set. Sometimes we don't. It all depends on the day and the feeling. And if we played it like the day before, sometimes we're like, we don't want to play it today.
Sure.
But I know it's a song a lot of people want to hear, definitely.
Yeah.
And I understand it. It hooked me back in the day. So
I was just gonna say, you know, that was the first song I heard, and I went, oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, then joined the Army.
And
and it just grew from there.
Yeah.
So, if you weren't in Suicidal Tendencies, what would you be doing?
Hopefully playing the guitar for somebody, but I think, you know, I think I would still be in Infectious Grooves.
Cool.
But, you know, when Mike asked me for the chance to be in this band, I saw it as, I'd love to do that. It's a challenge, and why not? I mean, what are we if we can't challenge ourselves? You know?
Absolutely. That kind of it makes me think of, you know, like one of the Godfather movies. You know, I want you to go and, you know, off this guy or whatever. It's like, man, how do you turn him down?
Right. Yeah.
He's saying, hey, come on.
Right.
So, and look at you now, 17
right,
years
and
later.
it's only made me a better guitar player and a better musician, and all this, and you know, the experiences I've had have been great, and so, and I'm carrying on the legacy, I think, from Rocky and everybody else that you know had been in the band, and so I mean, I look at it as, you know, there's a lot of ships that come in. If you don't get on it, you'll just be standing on the shore looking out, it's waving by all the time.
Absolutely.
You know, since we're by the water over here.
Yeah, right. It's by Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan, yeah.
So, last question. If Suicidal Tendencies was a sexual position, what would it be?
Wow. Yeah.
I'm going to take by that's something you've never been asked.
No, I've never been asked that before.
Good deal.
Since suicidal is right in your face, I don't know. It might be how you think about it.
Oh, there it is,
there
folks.
you go.
You think about it. So, this is Cooper for Dean. Suicidal Tendencies signing off.
All right, peace.
Cheers.
It's